fantasies are fun, aren't they, Jonathan?
I guess.
You remember Buffy not as the damsel in distress, but the embodiment of female empowerment and strength. Backed up by the Scooby Gang, together they fought the forces of evil.
Xander! My buds are here! I love my buds! Hi!
But what if I told you, this witty group once went so far off the rails that not one, but 2 episodes were banned from airing in their original time slots.
Welcome to Sunnydale.
If you clicked on this video,
what you're after.
Buffy bot. So anyway, the network deemed the second episode we're going to discuss so disturbing and intense because it blurred the lines between fiction and real-world tragedy. However, fans were writing letters, calling, and sending faxes to protest in the delay of the airing. The first episode up is Season 3, Episode 18, Earshot. By the time this episode is over, Buffy has to talk down a high school classmate from offing himself. To understand why this episode caused such a stir, we have to briefly talk about a real-world event happening around this time. On April 20th, 1999, a tragic and deeply unsettling event shook the United States. The Columbine High School incident in Littleton, Colorado. For those who aren't aware, 2 students used pow-pows on their classmates and teachers, unaliving 13 people before taking their own lives. The incident sparked a nationwide conversation about youth violence, bullying, and media influence, as well as pow-pow control. It also led to an increased scrutiny on how violence in entertainment might affect young audiences. This cultural climate had an immediate and significant impact on many forms of media, including the Buffy episodes we're discussing today. At the time, Buffy the Vampire Slayer was airing its 3rd season on the WB network. The show was already known for its supernatural themes and metaphorical storytelling about teenage life, and it was something a lot of teens could relate to through these metaphors. Buffy was already bold, having addressed themes such as drugging, Season 3, Episode 12, Helpless, and depression, for example, in Season 1, Episode 11, Out of Mind, Out of Sight, just to name a couple examples. The writers weren't afraid to push the pen, but to the network, these episodes went too far and were too insensitive given the climate at the time. Back to Season 3, Episode 18, Earshot. With a name like Earshot, the episode sounds rather tame, right? Wrong. Buffy gains the ability to hear people's thoughts.
When did she study? Was I supposed to study? Miss Murray's kinda hot.
But when she senses someone at the school planning a violent act, she must uncover the truth before tragedy strikes.
This time tomorrow, I'll kill you all.
Buffy encounters a telepathic demon during a routine patrol and absorbs part of its essence. Shortly afterward, she begins to develop the ability to hear people's thoughts, a power that starts off useful but quickly becomes overwhelming. At first, Buffy uses her new telepathy to her advantage, picking up on gossip at school and even gaining insight into her friends' inner thoughts. But the ability becomes a burden as she's bombarded with the constant noise of everyone's mind, revealing how much pain, insecurity, and darkness people hide beneath the surface.
Come on.
Mrs. Kelly say.
Wear that skirt yesterday.
She's okay.
Oh my God, it's quiet now.
The episode takes a dark turn quickly when Buffy hears someone at Sunnydale High thinking about committing mass violence at the school. Panicked and physically weakened by the psychic overload, she and the Scooby Gang race to identify the potential attacker before anyone gets hurt.
Hi, Mr. Beach. I was just wondering, were you planning on killing a bunch of people tomorrow? Oh, it's for the yearbook.
I love Cordelia. After a tense investigation, it's revealed that the student suspected of being the would-be killer, Jonathan, was actually contemplating unaliving himself, not harming others.
I wouldn't ever hurt anybody. I came up here to kill myself.
The real threat turns out to be someone else entirely. The school cafeteria lady was planning on poisoning the students, but Buffy quickly puts an end to that.
You're all vermin. You come in here and you eat filth.
By the end of the episode, Buffy saves the day, but the story leaves a lingering impression about how many young people suffer in silence and how appearance can be dangerously misleading. Given the eerie parallels to the real-life events at Columbine, the WB made the decision to pull the episode just days before its scheduled air date. It was set to air just 1 week after Columbine. The episode ultimately aired 5 months later, ahead of the Season 4 premiere on September 21st, 1999. And although many people praised the episode for tackling tough real-world issues, it would not have been appropriate to air it in its original spot. The next episode, Season 3, Episode 22, Graduation Day Part 2, it was originally scheduled to release on May 25, 1999, a little more than a month after the Columbine tragedy. The sensitivity around school violence was so heightened that even this episode was delayed, despite being less directly related. A mere 2 hours before its airing, the network decided to replace the episode. However, it still aired in some US markets as well as in Canada and other international markets on its original air date. More on that in a moment. The episode is about Sunnydale High's graduation. Buffy, her classmates, and her friends arm themselves to face off against the mayor's monstrous transformation in a violent battle to save their classmates and the town.
Now!
The peaceful celebration of Sunnydale High's graduation is shattered when the mayor, Richard Wilkins, completes his long-awaited ascension into a monstrous demon. With his transformation, he unleashes havoc on the school, forcing Buffy, her friends, and the entire senior class to band together in a desperate fight for survival. Armed with medieval weapons, the students face terrifying creatures in a battle that blends high school drama with apocalyptic stakes. As the dust settles, Buffy and her friends emerge victorious, but forever changed. The battle at graduation symbolizes the end of their high school years and the loss of innocence, forcing them to confront the harsh realities of growing up in a world filled with darkness, both supernatural and real.
Well, gosh.
The episode closes Season 3 on a powerful note of resilience, unity, and bittersweet transition into adulthood, leaving viewers eager for the challenges the next chapter will bring.
My brain isn't really functioning on the higher levels. It's pretty much fire bad, tree pretty.
Although the violence in this episode was clearly fantasy-based, the network was concerned about airing scenes involving students organizing and using weaponry so soon after the national tragedy. Many fans were outraged by the decision, particularly because the episode was crucial to the series' plot arc. Joss Whedon, Sarah Michelle Gellar, and Seth Green also spoke out against the delay. Josh famously told fans to bootleg the episode, which ultimately I believe was considered a joke and not serious. It was ultimately released 2 months later on July 13, 1999.
We survived. Not the battle. High school.
So back to not all markets pulling the episode. The Canadian TV network YTV aired it on time, making it the first place many fans saw the season finale. This led to a grassroots movement among US viewers who began recording the Canadian broadcast on VHS tapes and trading copies by mail or at fan conventions. In the early days of the internet, fan websites, forums, and chat rooms buzzed with tips on how to find the episode and share it with others. Thousands of fans also protested the delay by sending letters, emails, and petitions to the WB expressing their frustration and arguing that the episode's powerful themes were important, not harmful. Together, these delays illustrate how real-world events can impact fictional storytelling, even when that fiction is rooted in fantasy. Let me know in the comments, do you agree with pulling these episodes, or do you think they should have aired on their original dates? The Columbine tragedy forced networks and creators to reconsider the timing and sensitivity of their content, especially when involved themes of youth violence. For Buffy, a show already known for pushing boundaries, this moment became a flashpoint in the broader conversation about responsibility in media and the power of television narratives during times of national trauma. If you remember these episodes being pulled from the air, and if you want more videos like this video, please subscribe so you don't miss out what's coming next. Stay 5x5, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.
Are you all right? 5x5. I'm Buffy, the Vampire Slayer, and you are?
Dead.
I may be dead, but I'm still pretty. Hi, I'm an enormous slut. Talking about 2 very powerful witches and a 1,000-year-old ex-demon. Willow's a demon? It is a sham, but it's a sham with yams. It's a yam sham.
Need a hand?
No thanks. I'm good. Slayer's a robot.
Did everybody else know the Slayer was a robot?